I'll kick us off with the Orlando Magic here. So the three things I got. Number one, establish Franz's role. Like it's kind of weird to me how they use him because I get he's technically like the small forward and Paolo runs the four. They're both 6'10". They're both really talented, but there's times like last season we kind of saw him get phased out of the offense. I know he still had a very good, solid year for him, especially it was his best year as a pro. But allow him to know that, hey, you're our number two option. But I think it's even better if he's possibly the three. I don't really like all the pressure for just him and Paulo to create the offense because they both kind of do similar things, but Paulo does it better. So I'm trying to like find a vision if I'm Jamal Mosley, the head coach there, of like where do I want Franz to be at in this offense? Secondly, Jalen Suggs needs to take a major step up. I just talked about them getting another star player, or at least somebody to kind of take that scoring pressure off. Jalen Suggs is one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. Let's see him take this step up with his offensive game. We saw what he was able to do in Gonzaga, carry that offense at times. He gets to Orlando, very much a utility guy, kind of takes that spot over Cole Anthony because he's so versatile. Now I want to see you average 16 to 20 points a game or something like that. That's the type of step I think Suggs need to take so that the Orlando Magic could also go further on. Lastly, allow the young talent to make mistakes and grow. I think Paulo definitely put a lot of pressure on them over this Fanatics Fest, like I think last weekend, where he said in the next 5 years, he wants to see a championship for himself, possible MVP and one of the faces of the
MVP,
league.
finals MVP, all that stuff. Yep.
And, dream big, kid. Why not? You definitely should if you're a professional athlete, not just in basketball. So I think it's important to note Paulo's not even 25 yet. He's not even 23 yet.
Very young. Very
Super
young.
young. The whole team,
Yep.
Jalen Suggs, a young player. Franz, a young player. Wendell Carter. Like, these guys are really freaking young. Cole Anthony. Like, the whole team is Tristan Dave Silva. I like they draft pick this year. Everybody's so young for the
Yep.
most part. Your veterans are
Paulo is
now.
still 21 years old. I just fact checked it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
very
Like,
young, confirmed.
it's very much like, hey, you don't have to take an OKC kind of jump or a Minnesota Timberwolves kind of jump because those teams are probably built a little better than what you guys are. But you're in the East and you could make some noise. But let's not expect these guys to consistently be a top three team in the East every year. I hope they are for their sake, but I think there's not as much pressure on them. We're not talking about Orlando coming out the Eastern Conference or anything like that. And we probably won't for a little while. So let's just, calm down, smell the roses, let it bloom naturally, and see what happens. But that's my three.
Yeah, no, I think this team could be like a slow burn. Like you're
Yeah,
in no rush to build this team up. You have so many young pieces that if you give them the time to properly build, to grow together, gel together, you could see like a hate comparing it, but like a Celtics thing where it's like you took the bumps and stuff. It took you years to get to where you want to be, but eventually you reach the mountaintop, and that's a situation the Magic could be in a few years. I agree. Franz Wagner, I think it's kind of like, is he the second option? Is he,
it's weird.
sometimes he might be the first option, or is he going to be a guy that is better suited as a third option? I say either give him the confidence to be like, you are our number two option. That's how we see you like moving forward, or you go out and get another, I want to say star player, but another like all-star caliber player because you have enough young pieces where you can do all that. And I think they did make some good signings, some big signings this offseason, but I still believe, I believe that they were going to be a team that were going to be, really in the trade market looking to make a splash there. And I still think they can. Jalen Suggs taking a step up too. I think that's huge for their guard position, especially on the defensive end. And if you said like he averages like 15, 16, 17 a game, that could help, take some pressure off of Paulo and Wagner as well. So I think him stepping up, maybe he becomes the third guy. I think,
I hope so.
the sky's the limit for someone like him as a two-way player, and he could potentially, instead of them going out and getting a star caliber player, he could, turn into that all-star caliber player. So
The Drew Holiday, the Derek White mold, like just follow it down to a T.
100%. Yeah. And they have a lot of guys on this team that have potential to take those leaps and be those caliber type players. So, yeah, I think the Magic are in a good spot. And they made it to game 7, the first round last year against Cleveland. So
Yeah.
they have experience. So they're getting better and better.